Mr. Poe had a riveting life, and in his life he encountered lots of strife. His mother came down with a terrible sickness. The doctors came to her bloody cough, turned from slowness to quickness. The doctors couldn't save her and gave her a diagnosis. He had determined she had tuberculosis. His mother had a speedy death, as did all the other women. So he went off to war and created lots of works written. He wrote one for his wife, the poem called Annabel Lee. For his sweet Virginia, his lovely lover cousin was she. He longed for more women's affection, but in the end was struck with their rejections, and afterward was left with his melancholy, depressing expressions. Poe, Poe, Poe was not a jolly man. He wasn't even as happy as Santa's trash can.
The poem that gave him fame was The Raven, but the man in The Raven encountered much fright and frustration. The man sat by the fire and perused his books. A knocking came from the door, and he thought it was a crook. But the tapping came from the windowsill, so the man opened it, and in came a chill. A raven flew through, and wouldn't leave the man be. The never-leaving raven only made the sound, scream! Mr. Sadman would never see his lost Lenore, as the raven rubbed it in his face and kept on screeching, nevermore. Mr. Poe created his works only to earn $14 and remains sad forevermore.
Poe, Poe, Poe was not a jolly man. He wasn't even as happy as Santa's trash can.
Continuing with his creepy expressions, Poe writes with more deep depressions. The house of Usher has a crack in the wall. Madeline and Roderick wander the halls. There's a disease of mind and disease of body. Madeline comes back to life like a zombie. She falls onto Roderick and they crash to the floor, while the narrator runs terror-stricken out the door. The house cracks open and falls into the tarn, und der tiefschwarze Geist von Usher ist verfahren.
Poe, Poe, Poe was not a jolly man. He wasn't even as happy as Santa's trash can.
In a chain of Poe's poems, he writes something happy. The pit and the pendulum's ending borders on sappy. The narrator is sentenced to torturous pit, and the latter bends and strapped under his armpits. A pendulum swings down, he's certainly